regarding to overall default of property sector. Our statistics shows that around the private developers who defaulted on public debt already accounted for around 1/3 of total sales of property. So which indicates that for the overall property sector, for banks NPL ratio, it should reach around more than 20%. However, we know that because China wants to ensure a house delivery, therefore, as long as the project is not completed, as long as the project is still ongoing and not suspended, then banks will not classify those loans into NPL. So at this moment, I think that for China regulator, they want to roll over or delay those issues and trying to solve it in the long run rather than expose all those problems in short term.
Shujin, just give me your sense of exactly what threat this property situation poses to the economy in general, because a lot of people are focusing on this as some kind of an existential dilemma. We saw this a couple of years ago. People were saying the financial sector was going to implode and the economy was going to go collapse completely, and now we're using the property market as this threat. Just so give me your sense of how important is this in the overall scheme of the government's economic plan?
Gotcha. If we are talking about the property itself, the contribution to the overall GDP growth would be less than 10%. But if we can consider about the overall, its derivatives and also home appliance and related industries, and then the overall impact to the GDP growth, to the GDP would be around 20%. So quite important for the whole economic growth. But for China's situation is that because China realized, especially top leaders, they realized that in the longer run, China's property sales will not recover, will not be back to what happened in the past 5 years, will not went to the peak time of 2021. That's considering China's overall the marriage ratio, the birth ratio, and the population trends. Therefore, it seems that it's inevitable to see property sales to decline to around 10 to 13 trillion RMB per year from previous 18 trillion in 2021. So I would say that yes, it still has a big impact to China's overall economy, but we have to admit the truth that it will not go back to the past.